Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, here we are at beautiful San Diego. Look at that crystal clear day. Just looks absolutely amazing. What a great day to do some flying. We're going to fly over some hills and some mountains today and land at quite a small little airport that's tucked away behind the mountains. So that is going to be very, very picturesque, beautiful, and it's going to be exciting. Doesn't the city look fantastic? The airport looks amazing, and there's our head office right there, guys, looking as awesome as ever. And of course, our beautiful 737-700 is parked there, ready to go. Today we're going to talk about some of the issues that I've had over the last week, or it could be 2 weeks, I can't remember now. Every day's sort of blurred into the other one. Over the last week, we've had a few headaches and pains, and issues. I'm sure I'm not the only one. In fact, I know I'm not the only one. There are a few known bugs that I'm sure will be fixed on the next update, so we can talk about those as well. But today it's all about flying a little regional route in this beautiful plane and just doing it easily and simply, okay? We're going to keep it nice and simple so that everyone can get up and enjoy flying this beautiful plane. We'll do it the easy way. And as our knowledge and skill grows and develops, then we'll dig a little deeper and we'll get more into the system. Like I said before, by the end of the year, I'm going to be an expert on flying this 737 because I'm going to stick with it. I'm determined I'm going to get my money's worth. And if you stick with this channel, you will become an expert as well because you'll be following along with me, okay, if you have the plane. Don't worry about the big time YouTubers. They are long gone. They flew this for a few days when it first came out so they can get a lot of clicks and likes and earn some money. But now they're gone, okay? They're off on to the next plane, the next new thing that's come out. So they're chasing the bucks, guys, so you won't see them around for long flying this plane. Because they'll be busy looking for the latest one to fly. But this is going to be the #1 channel for flying 737s, okay, on all of YouTube, because that's all we do. We've got our airline, we've got to shift passengers, we've got to learn, we've got to develop, we're going to fly the wings off this plane. So this is going to be the #1 channel if you like 737s. And whether it be X-Plane 737s or Microsoft Flight Simulator 737s, this is the channel for you if you want to become an expert at flying the 737. Okay, so why don't you come into my office and we'll do a little bit of chatting and I'll show you where we're going today exactly, and then we can quickly get started. Right, my office is over here and it is looking fantastic since I decorated it. Okay, welcome to my office. It is tidy today, so that is nice. The cleaners came in last night, of course, vacuumed and cleaned, but I've managed to keep it reasonably tidy for you guys because I knew you were coming today. Now, this is the flight plan today, and we are going from San Diego, just a short little hop over to KPSP, one of our regional little routes. First time we've done it in the 737-700. So it's going to be very exciting. We're going to see some beautiful scenery. It'll be amazing. We're heading out over this lake. Now, these are the waypoints I made on the flight planner. And if you do exactly the same ones, you can follow along with me. And we are keeping it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4 waypoints. And then we're straight into Palm Springs. Now, remember, Palm Springs does not have an ILS. So there's no ILS approach or landing. We're going to follow the waypoints all the way around, and then we're going to turn off the autopilot, do a bit of a dog leg to line up the runway, and then we'll be straight in for a nice landing at Palm Springs. So we've got a little bit of work to do. When we do our FMC, all we're going to do is we're going to type in these for our waypoints. And once we've done that, our waypoints in the FMC will look exactly, our plan will look exactly the way it does on the Microsoft Flight Planner. So we can still use the Flight Planner. I like using the Flight Planner, so I'll continue to do so. It keeps my life easy and simple. Now let's head over to our plane, and oh, doesn't that look gorgeous? Doesn't that look sweet? Any other planes in today? Oh, it looks a bit quiet here today. Looks a bit quiet. No Delta Alliance planes here yet. But that looks lovely. Okay, let's head on down and we'll get things set up and started for our flight, eh? All the cabin looks okay. Everything looks okay here. I always do a bit of a cabin walkthrough just to check everything before the flight attendants always arrive. No rubbish, no cleaning buckets or materials left behind by the commercial cleaners. Everything's looking good. Flight attendants have enough to worry about, let alone stuff like that. So as the captain, I'm responsible to make sure they have a clean, safe working area. And that is all good. Right, let's head into the cockpit, guys. Okay, now while we're here, it's a good time to sort of check on the fuse board a little bit. See if there are any fuses blown, because they will stick out a little bit if they are blown. Get the camera in the right place. It's so sensitive. Okay, so we can see there are no fuses blown. Everything is all good. The hatch on the floor is all closed. The rope hatch is closed. The spare bulbs and lights compartment is all closed as well. Come around here, we can also check these fuses, and everything is good there. So let's go ahead and take a seat, and welcome to the flight deck, everyone. Now, I've cut this part short, guys, so the video is not too long. I do have a full startup video. My last video on my channel was called Full Startup, so if you'd like that, just go back and have a look. Cold and dark startup in the 737-700. Now here's my FMC. I've gone through that, KSAN to KPSP. If you look at my legs, the waypoints that I found on the flight planner, I have put into the FMC. ERNIF, Posse, CSTWY, and term, TRM. I've also put Bobby in, and then that's it. And then we're straight into runway 31 left. So there you go. Just put those 4 waypoints in between San Diego and KPSP, and you'll have a lovely, simple, easy little flight plan to Palm Springs. It will be sweet. Hit execute. Okay, go back to performance here. Now we're going to look at our zero fuel weight. If we click on that one, the plane very cleverly will calculate it for us and put it in here because it knows our destination, 118. So we're going to click on it again. It'll go automatically into there. Reserves, I'm going to click 1, standing for 1000. Cost index, I'm going to put 25. Over the other side, we're going to cruise at 10,000 feet. It's a very short little hop. Don't need to be up too high. Click execute. Right, N1 limit, everything's filled in there. Let's go to takeoff. Takeoff, I'm going to put flaps 5 in there. Flaps 5. Our VR speeds are all calculated for us very, very cleverly. So I'm going to click on here and it will go into there automatically. VR, V2, everything is clicked in there automatically. So that is all good. Our legs are done. Our departure and arrival I have done. Our route is, everything is there. So that is our flight plan done and dusted. Very, very easily done. And there it is. You can see it on the MFD there. Just there like that. If you click this button here around to plan, the plan will come up for us. You can see our first waypoint, our second waypoint, and then we curve around and go up the valley to Palm Springs. Very, very simple, enjoyable little flight plan, actually. Okay, so that's the FMC done. Let's make sure that our master control panel is done. We're going to cruise out at 250 knots. We're not going very fast today because we don't have far to go. 250 knots, altitude 10,000 feet. We're going to turn on the flight director. So we'll put the left one on first because we are the master flight director. We are the master in control today. And we'll click that as well. Now also we need to turn on the annunciator down here, because that tells the air traffic controllers that we're out and about. Keep an eye on us. Once we've got that set around there, we will be a blip on their computer screens, so they will be able to see us. Now let's check that we're all set for departure. We need our flaps down 5. And we need some trim. Now I've noticed this plane is a real pocket rocket. Okay, it takes off to the clouds very, very fast. It wants to fly to the moon. So you don't actually need very much trim, okay? Just a tab will actually do it. Now we've got no ILS at Palm Springs, so we don't have to do anything with the radio. So that is all good. We will come up here just to our final flow and our final checks. We are running on APU at the moment, so we're going to start our engines very, very soon. But first we will need clearance for departure. This central part of tarmac here is actually raised up. I think it goes up about 2 feet. There's a hill and it's a raised area. So when they do pushback, they've actually got to push this plane up this little hill into this flat area. I'm not sure I like it. I'm going to stop pushback before we get that far up the hill, I think. Before I used to go outside and look at my plane and check all the control surfaces, but you don't need to. You can do it all here. Click this button here, then you go down here, go through your control surfaces, and you can see everything working beautiful like that. And your rudders, you check those down there. So you know your plane's working fine. On a rainy, filthy, stormy day, you don't need to go outside, okay? You still need to send your first officer out to do the walk-around checks, okay? If the weather's filthy and raining, send your first officer out to do the walk-around checks. But other than that, you don't need to get out. Okay, you stay in your nice, warm, cozy, fluffy chair. So we've had clearance for departure. So we're going to bring up the throttles and we'll take off our brakes. San Diego is looking fantastic, this airport today. Just looking fantastic. Looks quite busy over there. Quite busy. Right, let's just stop here and we'll do a few checks again. Flaps 5. Is our trim set or not? Better reset my trim. Trim is okay. We've got our flight plan in. Our master control panel is set. Flight directors are turned on. Okay, takeoff lights are on, landing lights, taxi lights, a bit too late to put our taxi lights on. Strobe lights. Should have had those on when we turned onto the runway, but that is all good. Safety belts are on, fuel pumps are on, hydraulic pumps are on, window heat, heat probes, packs are on, engine bleeds are on, yaw damper is on. We're ready to go. Did we have clearance for departure? Let's just check on that. We're on our way. Right, engines are stable. Bring our engines up full.
V1 rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. We use our trim try not to go over 10 degrees climb out. Whoa, look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? Huh? Doesn't that look awesome? That looks incredible. Just incredible, guys. We're going to see some nice scenery today. Beautiful clear day. We're heading over the mountains to Palm Springs. It is going to be sweet. Bring up our flaps. Flaps 1 right now. Now if we hit the V key, we will be able to see our flight plan there. if I wanted to, I could just use the heading bug and follow that flight plan without actually putting a plan into the FMC. But if you've got a little bit of a plan in the FMC, it means you can use your autopilot. You can go away, make a cup of tea, you can go to the bathroom while your co-pilot takes over the controls. Just makes it a little bit more relaxed, particularly if you're on a long trip, you know. Oh yes, beautiful. There we go, San Diego Harbor down there. Very, very nice. Right, let's engage our autopilot now. Both flight directors on, auto throttle on, speed mode on, LNAV on, altitude hold on, autopilot master on. Vertical speed is always set way too high in my experience. Way too high. Too steep a climb for my liking. But we're almost at 9,000 feet now anyway, so that was really fast. It was a real fast climb out, that one. And as you can see on our display down here, we're almost intercepting our flight plan here. There we go, we're at 10,000 feet and we're almost at our target speed, 250 knots. So that's good, guys. We can relax a little bit now and let the plane do its thing. You can bring the throttle back because the auto throttle is on. I always do that very, very gently, just in case. Come up here, turn off our landing lights, taxi lights off, strobe light can go off. We'll leave our anti-collision light on for now. Seat belts can go off. And Palm Springs, here we come. Look at that. Stunning, just stunning. Beautiful. Right, so we've talked about the issues, guys, those little issues. The flashing display here, which is a bug. If you pause the game or hit escape and go into the main menu and come back, your plane may do weird and wonderful things, so try to avoid that. Other than that, I think this is running quite smoothly and I'm pretty happy with it. I've had a hell of a week trying to sort out stuff, but some of that stuff was me, not necessarily the plane, okay? It was me learning how to handle situations when you get a warning light or things aren't working. You've just got to fix the problem. I mean, every little thing is simulated in this plane, and that's why I've turned a lot of the failures and everything off for now, just to get my head around the basics. And then later we can start digging deeper and get a bit more into the systems and the failures and all those kind of things. But at the moment I'm keeping it simple and just flying from A to B, and I recommend you do the same if you're just a learner like myself. But at the end of the year, guys, we're going to be experts. We'll know everything about this 737-700. I'm not buying any more planes, by the way. There is enough study level stuff in this plane to keep me going for months and months and months. Plus I've got other planes that I haven't had time to fly. So what's the point of just keeping buying new ones and new ones and new ones? It means there's more parked in the hangar, and it's more money out in the down the gurgler. I want to become an expert at least one plane. I just don't want to know how to fly all the planes. I would like to be able to say there's one plane on Flight Simulator that I'm good at. There's one plane that I'm an expert at, okay? And that's only going to happen by spending time flying and just showing some commitment to one variant or one plane. Skipping around all over the place, you become a jack of all trades but master of nothing. So I'm intending to stick to this one for a long time and become an expert and get really good at it. And that way I get my money's worth as well. When I'm a total expert at this one and I'm getting bored, then maybe look at studying another one. But I'm certainly not intending to buy any more problems. When you buy a new plane, of course, you can have more bugs, more problems, spend another 2 weeks fixing everything, trying to get everything to work properly. I'm over that. I'm really over it. Remember the 737 MAX? Oh yeah, we had issues with that one when it came out. We spent a lot of time getting our heads around it. The wings were crooked, all sorts of things. But by the end of it, we were pretty good at flying it. We had a lot of fun, and a lot of the bugs and things were all ironed out. And we enjoyed ourselves, got our money's worth out of that 737 MAX. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it, to be honest. After flying a high fidelity cockpit like this one, going back to the 737 MAX and looking in the cockpit, it's a little bit hard for me to take at the moment. After the X-Plane, high fidelity, and this one, very high fidelity, very hard to go back to the 737 MAX. Maybe I will one day, but at the moment I'm just enjoying the details and all the high resolution and the buttons and the displays and everything on this one. It was just so good, and the sounds are absolutely amazing. Now if you can see up ahead, there's a big lake of water. That is where we're heading. That is a big lake. You saw that on the flight plan. When we get to that lake, we're going to turn left and just cruise down through the valley happily and casually to Palm Springs. Now we have a couple of planes at Renton we need to pick up. We have a couple of planes in the Delta livery at Renton. If there's anyone out there who would like to fly one of our planes from Renton to Miami International, we need one based at Miami International. If you have the time, if you can fly a 737-700 in the Delta livery to Miami International for us, and that's where that one will be based. We've got to get it over to Miami. If there's anyone out there has the time to get that plane to Miami, it may take you 2 legs or 3 legs. Do it in 2 or 3 stages, but I'd love to get a 737 our Delta Alliance livery over to Miami, and also another one over to Midway in Chicago. If anyone has the time, please help me deliver these planes from Renton to their base where they're going to be based. So we need to get one over to Midway in Chicago, and we need to get one over to Miami International. So if anyone has the time, please deliver a couple of planes for Jet In Airways and tell me about it in the comments. That would be great. Right, I think we're over the most of these mountains now. You can see we've cleared these mountains. We can start to come down a bit. So I'm going to start bringing my speed down from 10,000. I'm going to bring it straight down to 6 for now. or maybe 5,000. It's going to take us a while to get there, but that's okay. Put my vertical speed at 19. Vertical speed 19. We won't bring our speed down yet until we get to that lake area, closer to that lake. But we can start descending now. We're over these this mountain range. Doesn't that look fantastic? All the lakes and the rivers, and just beautiful. Got to say, this plane is very smooth to fly. Apparently the Phoenix Airbus is having a few problems. It's got a few issues, not running terribly smoothly. This one is slightly running better apparently as far as frame rates and things. But I'm certainly happy with it at this stage. Get those little bugs fixed, it will be good, but as it is now, it is working, doing everything it's supposed to do. So I'm happy. There was a couple of times I almost parked it up and walked away when I was having problems with those hydraulics, but just a matter of being patient and sticking with it. Go away, come back another day, play around, go away, come back, play around with it. Eventually you get it right. And then that's it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Does anyone know the name of this lake? It is a big lake. It is a huge lake. Anyone know the name? Okay, we're coming up to our waypoint here. As you can see, here, our first waypoint. We're going to start turning around to the left over this lake and just drift up through the valley to Palm Springs. Quite a short flight, but it certainly is a very, very beautiful flight. Very scenic and a very casual, relaxed sort of a trip, really. Scenery is just stunning. So I think our runway is pretty much straight ahead of us, pretty hard to see, but once we get past this little jutting out row of mountain range here, we need to get round to the left and turn round to the right, do a bit of a dog leg to line up that runway. It is not an easy one, guys. Actually, it's probably a lot easier to come in from the other direction. Head up to Los Angeles and then cut across in behind the mountain range and come in from that direction. Might actually be a lot easier. Get my speed up a bit. Okay, now we know where the runway is. We can do a bit of a lineup. Gee, that was exciting, eh? Let me know how you guys go. Okay, let me know how you go on this trip from Kaysan to Palm Springs. Here we go. Check. Landing lights down. Landing lights on. What's our speed? 130 knots, that's fine. Speed brake, I'm going to put that on to 3, I think it is. It's not on full. I think we should be able to stop okay. We've got our reverse thrust working. Right, wish me luck, guys.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. 200. 100. Sink rate. Sink rate.
Oh, that went okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Speed brakes off. Reverse thrusters off. Didn't really land on the dots. I think I landed a bit before the dots, which is not too good. But it's okay for a start. I've seen a lot worse. You'll see a lot worse on my channel, guys. Not too bad. Right, let's taxi to the gate. Now, I love the Palm Springs Airport, the terminal building. It is just fantastic. They have a marvelous restaurant and cafe there, which I just love. Great coffee. Just beautiful. They do a lovely all-day breakfast. Oh yeah, bacon and eggs and sausages and hash browns. Oh, fried tomatoes and fried banana. I tell you, their all-day breakfast is to die for. It is fantastic. Right, I think we are going straight in here. Right. Welcome to Palm Springs, everybody. On a beautiful, sunny, clear day. It is just amazing. It looks amazing. Let's head up on the drone and have a look around at Palm Springs. Just beautiful. Now, just down there, under that tourniquet, by those trees, there's that restaurant and cafe I was telling you about. It is just fantastic. But what a beautiful airport to fly in and out of. I really encourage you to have a go at this one. It is very nice. Maybe don't do it when there's sun glare. Okay, do it at a different time of the day. It seems to be quite difficult with the sun glare. Sunrise, sunset is a beautiful time of the day, of course, to see the sun on the hills and the mountain ranges. It is such a beautiful spot. Let's have a look down here. And I'll show you that cafe that up here. Oh, maybe not open today. Oh, that's a shame. Ah, what a shame. Doesn't look like there's anybody here. I get my my all-day breakfast and coffee and everything there. It's just fantastic. Really amazing. Now, where am I here? Got a little bit lost. Get an Xbox controller, guys. It will change your life, okay? It will really change your life. There is no limits to what you can't do and where you can't go. I'm stuck in a maze now. When you have your Xbox controller, you can do anything, go anywhere. It is just beautiful. Good for exploring airports, looking around, having a look at where you are, enjoying the scenery and some of the places you fly in and out of. Interesting plane there. I drive it around the airport like a little car, you know. I just think it's like a little scooter or a car, and I just drive it around the airports, check everything out, check out all the buildings and the other planes that are parked in there. Just have a good old Captain Cook, you know. Just have a good old nosy round at some of these places. Really is good. Good old Xbox controller. Highly recommend it. Well, here's our beautiful 737. It went beautiful today. Apart from those couple of little bugs that I talked about, if you can live with those, and just ignore them, okay? Just carry on as if they don't exist. Don't let it worry you. And eventually they will be all fixed up. But it does everything it is supposed to do, basically. Certainly enjoy some nice flying. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll talk to you soon on the next video. We'll do some more little regional flights. If you have time, please help me deliver a couple of these 737s. I need a Delta livery one taken from the Renton factory down to, or the Renton airport down to Miami, if someone can manage that for me. And I also need one delivered to Midway in Chicago. I need at least a couple in both of those locations. I'll try and get some delivered as well. That's in our Delta Alliance livery, okay? Alright, let me know how you go. Thanks for watching. Cheers. See you soon. Stay safe.